Have you ever wondered why, even knowing you're a chosen one, your life still feels stuck? Why, despite all your intelligence, your sharp intuition, your spiritual connection, you still feel like something is holding you back? You feel it, don't you? Like there's an invisible weight on your back. Like you're trying to run on a road covered in mud, every step taking an absurd amount of effort, and even then, you're not getting anywhere. And now I'm going to tell you what no one has had the courage to say, what no church will tell you, what most spiritual gurus avoid because they're afraid of being rejected. You are being enslaved by something that feels like pleasure, but is actually a weapon from hell. Orgasm, yes. Pleasure, yes. The climax, yes. That thing the whole world says is healthy, natural, human. But in truth, it's an unconscious ritual of handing over your energy to darkness. You think you're satisfying yourself, but you're actually emptying yourself. You think you're getting relief, but you're disconnecting. And the cruelest part is, it was designed to feel irresistible. Because the devil doesn't trap the chosen one with visible chains. He traps with stimuli, with addictions, with sensations. He enslaves the soul through the pleasures of the body. And that's why you're here, not by accident, not by luck. It was a calling. Something inside you cried out. Something invisible, yet very real, brought you to this video. Because it's time to break the final chain that's holding back your ascension. And that chain has a name: addiction to orgasm. As long as you're trapped in the cycle of excitement and release, your soul will remain in a state of stagnation. You can pray, fast, meditate, study, work, but nothing will truly shift until you reclaim the energy that's being drained every time you give in to the impulse. This truth will hurt, but it will set you free. And now, I need you to prove that you're ready. If you feel this message speaking directly to your spirit, type 11 in the comments right now. That number is a sign of spiritual alignment, an activation code. And by commenting, you are telling the universe and the spiritual realm, I want the truth, even if it hurts. Also, if you're watching, it's because this channel was chosen as a messenger for your life. Subscribe now, because there are messages still to come that you cannot afford to miss. The truth is being revealed in doses, and you're being prepared for something big. But if you leave now, without subscribing, without commenting, believe me, the system will pull you back into the cycle, and you'll get lost again. Because the pleasure of the body serves only one purpose: to numb the hunger of the soul. Do you really think it was a coincidence? Do you really believe it all started just because you discovered masturbation one day? Because you got curious? Because a friend mentioned it? Because you saw something on TV by accident? Number. It wasn't chance. It was a plan. Cold, calculated, spiritual. Since childhood, you were groomed to be poisoned with this. You were deliberately exposed to images, sounds, scenes, and vibrations that activated something inside you before you were even ready. But that's where the breach was opened. Because the devil doesn't attack just anyone with this level of sophistication. He doesn't waste ammunition on those already dominated. He targets the chosen ones, the ones born with their own light, the ones carrying divine codes in their DNA, the ones sent to Earth with a mission. And do you know what the most efficient shortcut is to stop someone with a great mission? Awaken their sexuality prematurely, twist it, Exaggerate it. Turn it into an addiction. Make pleasure more important than purpose. Because as long as the chosen one is trapped in this cycle of quick pleasure, instant relief, and the emptiness that follows, they become harmless. They might speak well. They might even seem spiritual. But their energy is fragmented. Their mind is scattered. And their spirit has no strength for battle. You don't realize it, but every time you fall into that cycle, you're signing an invisible contract with the system of darkness. A contract that says, I give up my mental clarity in exchange for a fleeting sensation. I hand over my vital energy for a few seconds of pleasure. I allow entities to feed on my strength in exchange for dopamine. You don't see it happening, but you feel the effects. After masturbation comes discouragement, the emptiness, that feeling of, I promised I wouldn't do it again, and I did. Loss of focus, procrastination, difficulty praying, lack of direction. Everything starts falling apart silently. It's like an invisible block. You try to move forward, but everything gets stuck. Ideas don't flow. Creativity dries up. Money stops. Connections fade. And do you know why? Because you're drained. Your soul is being bled from the inside. It's like a spiritual faucet left open. And every time you give in to the addiction, a little more of your divine power escapes. And who's drinking that power? Beings who feed on the energy of the chosen ones, astral parasites, spirits of bondage, entities that hide in lust, because they know it's the easiest weakness to justify. Oh, it's natural. Oh, everyone does it. Oh, better this than cheating on someone. Yes, the system created perfect justifications. But the truth is different. The chosen one wasn't born to live like everyone else. You weren't called to do what the masses do, because what you carry inside is far greater than what the world offers. And here's the key point. The addiction to orgasm isn't about sex. It's about control, spiritual control, vibrational control, energetic control. What the devil really wants isn't to stop you from climaxing. He wants to stop your ascension. He wants to make sure you never fully connect with heaven. Because when the chosen one lives in purity, discipline, and retention, hell trembles. When the chosen one refuses instant pleasure, he begins to rise. His light begins to shine brighter. His intuition explodes. His words carry authority. He sees before others see. He hears what others don't. He senses what no one else perceives. And that's dangerous for the kingdom of darkness. That's why they keep you trapped in the loop. That's why the stimuli never stop. That's why the algorithm keeps sending you videos, images, memories, fantasies. Everything is designed to keep your soul busy with pleasure and away from purpose. The attack is subtle, but cruel, because it makes you believe it's your choice. But it's not. It was planted since childhood. Someone introduced you to it. Someone exposed you. Someone left you vulnerable. And ever since, you've believed you're in control. But what's in control is the cycle, the hunger that's never satisfied, the illusion of relief that only brings more emptiness. And you'll only break free when you realize this war is not against your body, it's against your mission. Because if the enemy can keep you enslaved by orgasm, he doesn't need to bind you with drugs, poverty, or disease. You'll destroy yourself with your own hands. It's time to wake up. Now listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, because what comes next is not just information, it's revelation. The sexual energy your body produces is not just biological, it is spiritual. It is the purest form of the creative energy within you. This energy is creative, powerful, divine. It's the force that creates life. It's through this energy that a human being is born. And if it holds the power to form a body, imagine what it can do when retained, redirected, and consecrated. But what did the system do? It taught you to waste it, to spend this powerful force for just a few seconds of pleasure, under the illusion of relief, while in truth, you're throwing away the keys to the heavenly portals God placed inside you. Let me explain. Within you are spiritual portals that activate as you accumulate, purify, and consecrate your vital energy. They are like inner keys, and each time you choose self-control over impulse, another level of access opens. You begin to receive revelations, prophetic dreams, unbelievable clarity, authority in your words, faster manifestations, miracles, healing, divine connections. But when you fall into the addiction of orgasm, those portals close, not because God punishes you, but because your frequency drops. Every unsacred orgasm is like a spiritual short circuit. You dim inside, you disconnect the spiritual antenna, you lose the signal, you become an empty vessel, appearing alive, but spiritually lifeless. And the devil knows this. He doesn't have the power to create, but he knows how to destroy what God placed in you. And the most effective way to do this is by convincing you to waste what is most precious. You think you're masturbating by choice, but often it's a summons from the spiritual realm to bring your vibration down. And do you know why? Because whenever you're on the verge of a spiritual breakthrough, when you pray with power, when you've fasted, when you begin to see visions, when you feel like something is about to break, the attack comes. Suddenly erotic dreams, flashbacks from the past, an uncontrollable urge, as if something is calling you, as if it were a need. But it's not a need, it's war, it's sabotage. Hell knows you're about to access a higher level, so it sends whatever is necessary to pull you back down, because in the spiritual realm, your orgasm releases energy codes. And those codes can be stolen by entities. And those exact codes were the keys to the next stage of your evolution. You don't feel it physically, but spiritually, the losses are massive. Every time you masturbate outside of covenant with God, you give away a piece of your strength. Every time you surrender to artificial pleasure, you delay a blessing. You close a door that was about to open. You miss the chance for a true connection. You block financial manifestation. You postpone your purpose. All of that over seconds of dopamine. And what is dopamine? A counterfeit of God's presence. While God offers wholeness, the addiction offers instant pleasure. While God gives you sustained light, the addiction gives you a flash that fades into darkness. And every day, you choose what you will feed. Make no mistake, this war is not about sex. It's about light. It's about thrones. It's about spiritual influence. It's about your inheritance. The enemy doesn't care about your pleasure. He cares about stopping you from reigning. Because when a chosen one retains his energy, when he consecrates his sexuality, when he overflows with power and doesn't bow to the flesh, heaven moves on his behalf, portals open, reality obeys him, time bends, and the doors once shut burst wide open. But that only happens when you are whole within, and that will never be possible if your life force is constantly being drained. An orgasm that is not directed toward heaven is always captured by the abyss. And you feel it. You feel it in your body. You feel it in your spirit. You feel it in the life that doesn't move forward. Everything always feels almost. It almost worked. It almost happened. It almost moved ahead. Almost is the signature of spiritual theft. You walk, but never arrive. You plant, but never harvest. You pray, but never break through. And the cause may lie in this silent habit that you call pleasure, but which, in the spiritual realm, is seen as self-abandonment. You were called to reign, not to be distracted. To govern, not to seek relief. To manifest heaven, not to bargain your power with hell. And now that you know this, the choice is yours. Do you think everything ends with the orgasm? That it's just a moment, a release of pleasure, and then it's over? It's never just that. Because what happens there is a pact, an invisible seal that, once formed, becomes a spiritual chain that's hard to break. Every time you have an orgasm, even alone, even with videos, even in secret, you're connecting your soul to something, or someone, or some entity. And the problem is, you don't choose who that connection is with. Because in the spiritual realm, energy doesn't lie. And wherever there is orgasm without purpose, without covenant, without purity, there is legal ground for darkness to operate. So what does this mean? It means that the addiction to orgasm isn't just weakening you. It's creating ties, invisible cords, soul ties, energetic knots that block your entire life. You start seeing the effects in your relationships. The wrong people are drawn to you. Toxic connections that pull you down. That feeling that no one understands you. That true love never comes. Or when it does, something quickly destroys it. Why? Because you're bound to images, to memories, to people you were never meant to connect with. Bound to portals that you yourself opened using your own sexual energy. Pornography, for example, is not just a video. It's a collective ritual. Thousands of people accessing the same content, offering their energy at the same time. A vibrational field charged with lust, demons, and spiritual slavery. When you masturbate while watching porn, you are signing off on everything that video carries. You become complicit with that system. You spiritually connect with all the occult practices, perversions, and entities operating behind the scenes of that content. And when you're done, it stays with you. It stays in your energetic field. It lingers in your dreams. It shapes your behaviors. It lowers your frequency. You start sabotaging yourself, attracting humiliation, staying silent in front of opportunities, doubting yourself, repeating destructive patterns. And it doesn't stop there. Sexual energy is directly tied to your prosperity. Yes, money is energy too. And the flow of abundance in the life of a chosen one depends on retention, discipline, and vibrational alignment. When you waste your strength on cheap pleasure, you cut off the abundance flow. You tell the universe, I prefer instant pleasure over long-term building. I prefer momentary relief over future harvest. And the universe responds fairly. Then you're not ready to receive. You begin to see your financial life stuck. You work but see no results. You do everything right but nothing flows. People with less preparation prosper. And you, the one who carries light, stay behind. Not because God forgot you, but because you forgot to honor the energy He gave you. The energy meant to create, manifest, lead, serve, and transform. You're pouring out into sheets, bathrooms, thoughts, and fantasies. And here's the most serious part. your health begins to suffer. Orgasm addiction affects your nervous system, your vital energy, your mental clarity, your sleep, your focus, your immunity. Everything starts collapsing silently. You wake up tired. Even after sleeping, you don't rest. Your body aches. Your mind races. Your thoughts get tangled. Anxiety grows. Depression sets in. And you go to the doctor, get tests done, take medication. But nothing works. Because the root isn't in the body. It's in the soul. It's in the energy that's being drained every single day. Frequent masturbation, uncontrolled orgasm, and purposeless pleasure are like poison, administered in small doses. You don't die instantly, but you never truly live. And that's perfect for the enemy, because he doesn't want you to die. He wants you to survive, always frustrated, always beneath your potential, always feeling like something is wrong, but never knowing what. And now you know. This is it. Orgasm addiction is the golden prison of the chosen ones. It looks like pleasure, but it's a chain. It looks like freedom, but it's manipulation. It looks harmless, but it's killing your calling. You were made to walk in holiness, and holiness is not religiosity. It's energetic alignment. It's spiritual mastery. It's knowing when the body speaks and choosing to say no. It's using your sexual energy to co-create with heaven, not to feed entities that live off your weakness. Now stop and think. How many times have you had prophetic dreams right before falling into temptation? How many opportunities showed up and vanished after a relapse? How many projects started strong and suddenly collapsed? The answer is in this truth. Your soul is crying for help while your body convinces you everything's fine. But it's not. Now that everything has been exposed, now that the curtain has fallen and you see what's really behind this cycle, the question that remains is simple. Will you continue being a puppet, or will you claim the throne that was always yours? Because there are no more excuses. From the moment truth enters, ignorance dies, and what's left is a decision. You need to understand, the addiction to orgasm is not a physical issue. It's a spiritual mechanism of control. Every time you fall, you're not just falling in the body. You're being reprogrammed. You're signing a silent agreement that says, I accept living below what God called me to be. But enough. It's over. You've suffered enough. You've felt what it's like to be trapped in repeating cycles. You've woken up feeling dirty, tired, frustrated. You've cried in the silence of the night, asking why your life won't move forward. You've looked in the mirror and asked, why, with everything I carry inside me, does nothing flow? The answer was always there, and now it has come to light, because you are chosen, and the time for your freedom has come. But understand this, freedom is not a moment, it's a posture. You must decide every single day that your energy is sacred, that you will no longer trade it for seconds of pleasure that build nothing, that you will no longer hand over your light at the enemy's table. You will protect your strength. You will transmute desire into power. You will transform that energy into clarity, productivity, creativity, divine connection, and you will rise. Because when a chosen one breaks free, the whole world feels it. Portals open, people appear, opportunities emerge, words carry weight, presence holds authority, prayers burn with fire, and the universe begins to conspire in your favor. You start to walk on a level where temptation no longer dominates you, where the flesh serves the spirit, where pleasure is not your master, but a tool used with wisdom and purpose, and your freedom becomes visible in your energy, in your presence, in the way you speak, look, and touch. The world notices, people feel it, the spiritual realm recognizes it. You return to being who you were called to be, and the devil knows this. That's why he'll fight hard. He'll try to make you fall again. He'll use the same tricks, fantasies, dreams, memories, images, loneliness, boredom. But now you have knowledge, and knowledge is armor. You are not weak. You were just distracted. But now you've awakened, and when a chosen one awakens, nothing can stop him. So listen carefully to what I'm going to say now, because this is a calling. If this message reached you, it wasn't by chance. It was an answer, a code. God saying to you, it's time. Rise. Take your place of authority that I gave you. And if you felt this truth burning inside, I invite you to leave a sign. Type 11 in the comments. That number represents the portal, the doubling of one, the unity of your being with the Creator, the beginning of your spiritual freedom. Write it as a prophetic act, as if saying, I heard, I received, and I will break through. Now, if this message made sense to you, if it touched your soul, opened your eyes, confronted you with love, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video now. That simple gesture helps it reach more chosen ones like you, who are stuck but ready to wake up. Share it with someone who urgently needs to hear this. You could be the instrument God uses to free one more soul today. And subscribe to the channel now, because here, every video is a key, every word is a code, every revelation is a step toward your spiritual destiny. You didn't get here by accident. You were led. And now that you've heard, the choice is yours. Chosen one, rise, react, be reborn, because heaven is waiting for you.